Hello YouTubers, Ram55 coming with you. This is a race I want to put up. It's a practice race. It's in the Porsche Super Cup. It's on Race07, which is an older game, but it is so versatile and it lets you do all kinds of racing, and the competition is good. The AI is actually pretty decent. Just so versatile with the different kinds of cars you can drive. Today's race is a practice race at Brno in Czechoslovakia. Circuit is 3.346 miles or something like that in length. It's rolling. It's got some up and down elevations through the hills. It's a beautiful circuit, and it's really well modeled here in Race07. Now, in this race, I have not qualified, so I'm starting last of a 25-car field. And I personally race with a 3-monitor setup, so I can see both the left mirror, which you can see here, but also the right mirror, and I can see cars on my side, which for the replay you can't do. But this gives you the best sound quality, and that's the way we're going to show the race. I'm also going to try to fit in some outside views and put those in a little box so you can see what's going on from the outside of the car. But anyways, Race07 Porsche Super Cup Series. I've modded my game to include this series, so everybody's racing in the same car. It's a spec series. I've eliminated some of the cars from the basic mod. I've also changed the names of the drivers and modified the AI qualities to meet my driving skills. There are some super online race drivers out there that are setting the AI levels to 105, 110%. I'm not one of those guys. So one of the reasons I've been slow to get this series out and produced is I've been tweaking the AI levels, and it's been quite an exhaustive process. Plus, you have to set up each individual car. They come out of the box with a stock setup, which generally isn't really good. And to be competitive, depending on how you have the AI set, and for this race, they are currently set at 93%, you have to tweak the cars to really be competitive. So anyways, that's why the series was a little bit long in development, but let's get started in the race. I'm going to go to full screen. Now, unfortunately, we won't get you any position data in this view, but anyways, in a moment we're going to get the command to start engines. Again, Race07 old series graphics are not modern or up to speed, but they're still pretty dang good. The AI is reasonable, but just the versatility of this game in racing various cars, from the Porsche Super Cup to the Caterham, which is a stock, Radical, which is a stock car in the game, World Touring cars, which is stock in the game, Formula BMW, which is an intermediate open wheel series, Formula 3000, higher up open wheel series, Race Room, which is their version of Formula 1 cars. So we just got the command to start engines. The system I'm working with is a Mobil racing wheel, which has a gear shift lever, which I have set up to be a sequential shift, just like the guy is using here on the visuals here. It does have paddle shifts, but I don't use them for this particular car. And it has a brake and accelerator, but does not have a clutch. So I'm at a bit of a disadvantage at the start, because I can't rev the engine up, pop the clutch, and get going. So it takes a little while for my engine to get the revs up into the power curve. In the meantime, the AI is pulled away from me a little bit, and that's okay. As in all games that I've seen, it takes a little while for the AI to sort themselves out. There's always that big snafu at the first corner where they're bumping into each other and grinding on each other, and they're going dead slow sometimes. Very easy to sometimes pass half the field. I don't want to do that. I want the AI to settle down and kind of get into order, and then after the first few turns and AI is settled down, then I go for it. To me, it's real easy to pass half the field in the first turn, but that to me is not realistic. It's not good racing. So as you can see, they're all kind of strung out now in line, as they would be in real life. And now it's time to let the ponies loose, and let's see what we can do. I've already passed one car up into 24th place, trying the outside of this turn here. And you can see the AI at 93% is putting up a pretty good battle. Now, obviously, I'm not the greatest driver, but it's pretty reasonable. Dive to the inside of this turn. That puts me on the outside for this turn. Let's see if we can hold it. And it looks like we have. So 2 cars down. We're up into 23rd. And again, I don't want to do, as Calvin Fish would say on TV, any argy-bargy. I don't want to hit cars and make the passes that way. I want to do it legitimately. There's another guy that, I think it's Race Room or Race Department. I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel. I can look that up and post a link to it below. Excellent series for some good racing. The guy is an outstanding driver, but he does the same thing. He really respects the AI drivers, and if he can make a pass legitimately, as you would in real life, he does it. If not, he kind of respects the AI and holds off. And I want to do the same thing. I don't want to just push my way to the front. You wouldn't do that in a real Porsche, and I'm not going to do it here in this series. Now, one thing you'll notice, like that car right in front of me, is they are really much faster than me down the straight. But I like that. I like to be challenged. I'm a little bit better in certain parts of the track. They're better in others, and makes for some interesting racing. Trying the outside of the turn here, down to 3rd gear. And we've got another one down. Now, because all the drivers are set up to be good and bad, the good drivers are up toward the front, the bad drivers are at the back, I expect it to be a little bit easier to pass the cars at the back of the field. As you get about halfway in through the field, then it starts to become a little bit more of a challenge because the drivers are better, right? So that's what I'm hoping to do with this series, and again, that's going to be a matter of tweaking the AI levels. Right now it's set at 93%. Down to 2nd gear. Now the Porsche is a very slippery car. It likes to drift. I mean, it likes to hang the back end out with some oversteer. Fun car to drive, very responsive, nice engine. Again, spec series. This turn right here, particularly down to 3rd gear and then up the hill, kind of fun to do. And then this is where AI, I have to really watch them. They're better than me up this hill and into this turn, even though I did get that guy on the entry. It's kind of a blind apex here. Final 2 turns leading onto the front straightaway. You just kind of crest that hill a little bit and then anticipate turning to the left to hit the apex. Down to 3rd gear and then 4th gear through the apex onto the final straight. Now you'll see that I am kind of a sitting duck. I don't know if this car behind me is going to make a pass into the first turn here. I have to give him a little bit of room. Oh. That guy got a little sideways, forced me out wide, but I did manage to hang on to it without getting into the kitty litter. I did manage to keep that guy behind me. He did touch my bumper right there, but did not spin me, thank goodness. 2nd gear, float to the outside, see if we can pass him on the outside here, be on the inside for the next turn. Pass is done, I think. I'll give him a little room in case he's still there. Nope, he's behind me now. This turn right here, get up to 5th gear, and it's a little bit downhill, and you got to get your braking done early. If you're carrying too much speed here, the car loves to loop itself or go off into the kitty litter and hit that wall. This one right here, a little bit on the gas too aggressively there, pinched to the inside, got a little bit sideways. You could hear the tires chirping, but we managed to hang on to it. Trying to over and under this guy and set up for the inside for this turn here, and we got another car behind us. You see a little smoke from the cars up in front, so they must have touched each other. So I've got a clear track in front, bunch of cars behind me, and we'll see how quickly I can close the gap. You can hear those tires chirping around that turn, and that's kind of like a little bit of a drift. Obviously, there's going to be some tire wear involved with that. I do have tire wear on realistic. Damage to 100%. Even at 100%, though, the damage is not very realistic. I would expect more damage to occur to these cars when they rub fenders, rub tires, or hit the guardrail. So even at 100%, the damage is not as realistic as I would like. The other thing I'm trying to do with this game is figure out ways to have a little bit more attrition. Right now it's fairly rare for a car to fall out. And I've adjusted things from in the settings for each individual driver to race laps complete percentage-wise, to the percentage of times they crash, to the number of times they recover. I've adjusted all those figures, and it really doesn't seem to do anything. They generally all finish the race, except for occasionally they will have one or two fall out. Now this is a turn where I tend to pick up a little bit, down into second gear sometimes. Third gear kind of rolls you through. Second gear is a little bit more aggressive, lets you get out of this turn a little bit quicker. Bring it all the way out to the apex. Car is getting a little bit loose there. This is that real slippery turn. You want to get your braking done early, down into second gear, let it roll through that apex, and then into third gear. And you can get on it fairly aggressively here, hard at the apex, drifting out to the outside. Now sometimes the AI cars will leave the door open, kind of like that right there, and dive to the inside, see if you can do an over-under. Not able to make the pass stick. Long string of cars here running nose to tail. And you know the old adage, catching is one thing, passing is another. Same thing with this game, which I love. You can maybe catch these guys fairly easily, but you still have to figure out a way to get around them. Going back up the hill, they're going to pull away from me. They're a little bit faster in a straight line, but I sometimes will do better into this turn. Down into second gear, looking for an opportunity maybe to pinch it down to the inside, but nope, he's going to shut the door. Oh, Lord. Touched the wall there. That should have caused a lot more damage than it did, but anyways. Fortunately, I had a gap to the cars behind me, so even though they're catching up to me, nobody got around. Very fortunate there. That's my fault. I went for, put my nose where it shouldn't have been. The guy did chop the door on me pretty hard, but I shouldn't have stuck my nose in there. So now I've got a clear track in front of me, no cars to worry about except for the ones behind me. It's going to be more or less qualifying laps now to catch up to that group in front. Down to fourth gear, let the car kind of drift through the turn. Get on the accelerator about halfway through at the apex and let it slide out for maximum speed down this straightaway into turn 2. Hard on the brakes. Down into third gear, let it roll. Sometimes you can do second gear there if you want to be really aggressive, particularly in this turn here, coming out to accelerate harder. Fourth gear is probably not a good choice there. Out of the power rev. Taking too long to get back up into the power curve of the engine. Should have kept it in third there. Braking early for this turn. Don't get too fast. Car sliding a little bit. Little oversteer, which I like in this car. Same thing here. A little oversteer. Too wide. Kitty litter. Don't lose it. Saved it. Second gear. Just went too deep into that turn. This is another one you can use second or third gear, depending on how aggressive you want to be. You might get a little bit better acceleration in second gear out of this corner. I left it in third, not too bad. Now occasionally I may put the overlays on this replay just to show what position I'm in. And I think it tells you how many laps are left. When you're in the race, it gives you constant updates into your position and laps and distance behind the guy in front. You can really hear those. Oh, somebody lost a little body part there. That stacked them up in front of us, so we should be able to catch them. Now be careful here, because if there's any damage on these cars, they will dive into the pits for repairs. So we'll keep an eye on that and make sure that we don't try to pass them on the inside for anybody who may be trying to go into the pits. In fact, that car, 2 cars in front of us, seems to have lost his wing, so he will definitely be going into the pits. There he goes. Yeah, if he was slowing down because he didn't have the downforce for that turn, and you tried to pass him on the inside, and he dove for the pits, he'd probably take you out. High-speed fourth gear turn. Hard on the brakes, down into third gear. Let it roll through the apex, sometimes second with the car in front of you just to get a little bit better acceleration. Diving for the inside, but we're not in a position. You can see his brake rotor's glowing red hot up there. That was pretty cool. Now down into that slippery turn. Not a good overtaking spot because it's real easy to loop the car. However, the next turn is not a bad one. If they're a little bit wide or squirrely, dive to the inside. It will put you on the outside for this next turn. Or if they're a little bit loopy here, dive to the inside and take the inside track. Because you'll be 2 left turns in a row. So if you get to the inside, you'll be on the inside for 2 turns in a row. Down to second here, just to give me a little bit better acceleration. Right on his bumper here. Nice long straight, but you can see they got a little bit more top end speed, and again, since you can't adjust the gear ratios, that's got to be aero package or maybe shocks. I'm not really sure. Kind of clipped the inside of the track there a little bit, but we managed to keep it going. We didn't spin. This is a turn. Sometimes I'll take in third gear, but with that car there, I tried second gear, maybe just give me a little bit better acceleration. Again, tried to pinch it too much. Car tried to rotate on me. Blind turn, apex, start shifting down to third. Late apex, early turn in here, fourth gear, accelerate hard down the main straight. We're currently in 6th place. Doesn't tell me how many laps to go, however. Again, car drifting here. The back end wants to come around a little bit, but you can really modulate that really well with the throttle. Start braking just outside of the 100 meter mark. Third gear, let it roll through the corner. Nice apex out to the rumble strips on the outside of the track. Hard on the accelerator down, fourth to third to second. Roll through the turn. You can see the car almost wanted to come around there. Clip the apex, third gear, hard on it. Down into second gear. I'm faster than this guy ahead of me, but like I said, catching and passing are different things. Fortunately, there's a pretty good gap between me and the car behind, so he's not going to hold me up too much. The other thing that's a little bit different from my actual race view when I race on my 3-monitor setup in the basement is I sit lower in the car. You can see the right fender in this view. I sit low enough that you can just barely see the top of the left fender in my other view. Gives me a better view of the track up ahead. A little bit wide there. Again, that made me pay for it with a poor apex on that last turn, so I lost a little bit of speed coming up the hill. Now, those of you who are racing aficionados know that the most important turn on the track is the one leading to the longest straightaway. You want to get that turn just right because that will launch you down that straightaway with the maximum speed. If you mess that turn up, you're going to pay for it with your lap time. So again, I'm working pretty hard to catch these guys and pass them. It's not an easy thing. And that's exactly what I want in this game. I'm thinking maybe push it up to 94, maybe 95% on the AI. I'll have to give that a try and see how that goes. But 93% right now is giving me a pretty decent challenge. I mean, I'm definitely faster. but give me a really decent challenge. Again, down to second gear to get a good launch out of this turn. Hard on it, third gear. Hard on the brakes, down into second gear. Get the braking done before you hit the apex. Third gear, hard on it. Going up the hill here. This is a turn that you can afford to take pretty fast. Second gear. Closing up a little bit on him here, but just not able to get close enough to make a pass. He was protecting the inside of the track there, couldn't do anything about it. And you guys can leave comments, but you can see how he pulls away on the straightaway. Part of that is just the nature of being the second one in the turn. There's just that gap as you accelerate away. But if you have any comments about changing my line, my apex, my acceleration points, let me know. Let's try him on the inside here. Can we pull it off? Let's leave him some room at the turn. I can hear him next to me. I don't see him in the rearview mirror. Again, on the 3-monitor setup, I would be able to see him over on my right side if he was there. Yeah, there he goes. But third gear, I'm able to hold him off through that turn. Pass complete. He should not be able to get me here, but let's make sure that he doesn't come back on the straightaway and pass me. So now we have to hold him off down the straight. And because I'm so good in this turn relative to the AI, I'm able to do that. So another one down. We're in 15th place. Now a bit of a breather, some clean air, some clean track in front of me as I move in on the next group. Nice apex, stay to the inside of the track there, setting up for a nice gentle turn, hard on it in third gear, which is the way to do it. I tried it in fourth a couple laps ago. That just is not the way to go. You can hear just a little bit of a lockup on the tires there as I braked hard into that turn. Looks like there's been a little incident in front of us. Cars have bunched up, so that'll be good for me. Good opportunities to make some passes here, hopefully. Car running wide. Hold on to it. Let's see what they do. Don't get caught up in their wreck. They've sorted themselves out. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there from the yellow car. So I'm able to manage it up and get back in front of me. Now I'm getting challenged from behind. You can hear those tires screeching as I brake for that turn. Stuck my nose on the inside. He was nice enough to give me a little bit of room there, but he's still going to hold off in front of me. I tagged his bumper just a tad there. You can see a little bit of debris fly up, but he'll probably get me going up this turn here. Again, I just don't have the setup for that straight line speed just yet. Something I have to work on. But I am good through this turn. A little bit too wide there. Took it in too deep. Coming back to the apex, hard on it. The other thing, when I race, you can actually see the tags above the drivers in front of me, so you know who is in it. Even though I've changed the drivers, I know their driving skills and capabilities somewhat, so you know who you're coming up on. With this replay, you have no idea unless you know the cars. Yellow car's having a little bit of a difficult time. I don't know if he's handling poorly or just not that great of a driver, but he's all over the road sometimes and wiggles, so we'll see if we can take advantage of that. pushed him a little bit into that turn. He's a little bit poor coming off that turn, giving me a good run. Can I make a dive into the inside for this turn? Nope, not quite. There he spins again. He wiggled, and let's see if we can take advantage of it. I got a little bit wide on that turn, so I gave it right back to him. Took it in too deep, too wide on that turn, lost the back end, and he dived to the inside, kept his position. There we are, fishtailing a little bit oversteer. Good speed through that turn. Don't loop it. Almost lost it there. Second gear a little bit more aggressive for this turn. Again, he's going to pinch me down. Didn't mean to hit him there, but he'll probably have more speed up this hill and take this next turn. So good dice between me and this yellow car. Roll through the turn, third gear. Hard on it. Shifting to fourth as we approach the apex. Try to stay in his slipstream, but he's just pulling away too much. Car coming up on my inside. We held him off. We got a good run on the yellow car now. Heading into turn 2. Hard on the brakes. Will he give me the room? Yes. Dive to the inside. No contact. By him cleanly. Another one down, up to 14th place. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these are the actual paint schemes on the cars from, I think, 2014, the Porsche Super Cup series. I think it was 2014. But again, I've changed the names of the drivers and the characteristics of the drivers. I have a certain formula that I use to make sure that they're spread out over the track and that there's some good drivers and some bad drivers out there. So as we get into this race, the tires do go away, and you will see the cars getting a little bit twitchy, and my car itself will get a little bit twitchy. You can't go as deep into the corners later in the race as you could early. I have these races set up. Oh, whoa, what a save. Very fortunate there. On the grass. In reality, I don't know if a real car would have saved that, but we did manage to keep it going. Got sideways, went to the inside of the turn up on the grass, but managed to gather it all in and keep going. Anyways, I set these races up so that you don't have to do pit stops. Nothing will screw up this game more than having these guys pit. They will pit for ridiculous reasons, like 1 lap to go, and they'll pit for fuel or tires. It's like, you wouldn't do that. So the races are short enough. I have it set for unlimited fuel. They do not run out of fuel, but I have normal tire wear. And for the race lengths that I'm using, they will not be stopping to change tires. So once you start going, it's a real race, and you win it or lose it on the track, not in the pits. So eventually I want to bring you guys a series of these, and I want to do multiple series. Either 10 to 12 races, something like that. Got another guy down, so we're up into 14th, I believe. I want to start off with the Caterham, which is a very simple, not really open wheel. They do have fenders on them. It's kind of like a Lotus 7, if you're familiar with that car. It's an open cockpit, fairly simple car, relatively slow, skinny wheels. Bring a Caterham series. I want to do the BMW Formula BMW series, which is an open wheel intermediate open wheel series. I want to bring you this Porsche Super Cup series, as well as perhaps GT3, which I am just now getting to grips with. It's a new series I just downloaded for the game. as well as Formula 3000, which I have reskinned as Formula 1 cars. So it's going to be my Formula 1 series. Now, Race07 has the race room cars, which are their pseudo Formula 1 cars. But quite frankly, I don't like driving them. They are too twitchy, too fast for me. If you like them, go ahead. You can also get those skinned up as Formula 1 cars. If you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. But I've got Formula 3000 as my high-end open wheel series, and I like to bring a series of those as well. Now, each series will have different lengths and different number of races on different tracks. Whoop, he gets a little bit crooked in front of us. Can I take advantage of it down the straight? No, he's blocking, being protective of the inside of the turn. Let's see if we can get him on the outside on this turn coming up. No, he's bobbling again. His tires are starting to go away, perhaps. Another one down. Getting a good run on this green car here. So the Caterham series will be 40-mile races. The BMW open wheel series will be 50-mile races. The Porsche Super Cup, which is what we're doing now, are 60-mile races. And I think the same thing for the for the GT3 cars if I do that. And I haven't decided about the F3000 cars, how long those will be. So depending on the track you're at, it will be different lengths tracks and different number of laps. For this race right here on Brno, being a 3.4 mile track, 50-mile race is, a 60-mile race is 17 laps. But anyways, I'd like to do a series of all those different types of cars, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. I certainly enjoy racing. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. It's just been a real project getting the AI tweaked, and I've spent a lot more time doing that lately. So now we're in a real battle with these cars up ahead. You can see their tires are getting a little bit dancy. He's trying to push his way to the inside. Don't get involved in their wreck. My tires are starting to give up the ghost a little bit as well. You can see a little dent on that guy's car, so there is damage modeled in this series. You'll see panels fall off. You already saw wings fall off of one of the guys. So I got balked a little bit going up the hill, which allowed the car behind me to get a run on me. So unfortunately, it looks like we may lose a position here. Whoa, he is way out of control. And when he did that, he balked the guy who was trying to pass me, so I got them both. A little bit fortunate. Nope, he's still on my outside. Saw his front fender there. We're up to 10th, top 10. But you can see the cars are starting to twitch a lot more. The tires are starting to give up a little bit harder to keep them on the track. But still some darn good racing. Can't carry quite the speed that you had before going through the turns. Guy left the inside open, so I said, thank you very much, I'll take that. Can I do it again here? Yes, thank you very much. Up to 8th place. Nice clean pass. So that is the entire string of cars ahead of me. 1st through 7th, right there in front of me. So I'm actually from 25th start, moved up the field quite well, which tells me the AI is probably set to be too easy, so I may have to bump that up to, I'll try 94, 95 next time. I don't want it to be that easy to get to the front. Believe me, I'm working hard at it. These passes are not easy, but in reality it'd be very difficult for a car to go from 25th to this high. He twitches a little bit, gives me the inside. Let's see if we can make this pass stick. Yes, he is behind us. We're up to 7th. A little bit too deep, missed the apex. Cut back across him, back onto the main straight. Okay, let's not make any mistakes. Tires are starting to wear. Handling's starting to go away, but it is for everybody. So we tried to make a dive for the inside for the lead there. Didn't quite make it. Green car still has the lead. Up to 7th place from 25th. Still a lot of dicing going on in front. If they take themselves out, it gives me a couple more spots. Or at least balk themselves like they did right there. Got balked coming off that turn. Allow me to take the position. So look for AI to make mistakes, problems with the tires, and pounce. But don't make any mistakes yourself like I almost did there. Don't hit them. Don't hit them. Be careful. Up to 5th place. If I can make it stick. Yep, he's behind us. Oh, way too deep. Onto the grass. That's going to hurt. 2 cars have passed us. Knocks us back to 7th. Took it in too deep. Fortunately, I didn't get into the grass and spin the car, though, because you can see the number of cars behind us. They all would have gone by. All right, let it roll, let it roll. Missed the apex, a little bit too wide. That's okay. They're still having some handling problems ahead of us, so maybe we can take advantage of that. Laps are winding down here. Seventh place. Drop it into second, see if we can get a better acceleration off of this turn, but it didn't quite work out. Running out of time. Let's see if we can get these positions back. This is that real slick turn, so be careful. Whoa! Guy in front of us is almost out of control, but he managed to gather it back together. He's wide in this turn as well. If he's wide on this next turn, maybe we can dive to the inside, get that position back. Let it roll, let it roll. There he goes. Let's see if we can make it stick. He's right alongside. No, couldn't quite make it happen. Cars behind us are always a challenge. He's wide again. Cars behind us get that run up the hill, so I got to keep my own defensive line if necessary. All right, can we make it 2 for 1? Black car's on the inside of this turn, and he'll have more speed going up this hill. Oh! Pinched it a little bit too much and lost my acceleration momentum going up the hill, so that camouflage car is going to take us again. That sucked. Probably pinched it too hard into that turn and almost spun the car, but did lose the position. Still in 7th place. Cars challenging us on the inside. We did manage to hold them off. Hold on to it, hold on to it, hold on to it. Way too wide there. Lost a position. Now on the grass. Come on. Lost my rhythm. Lost another position. Get it together. You always hear about on TV, if you watch races, about drivers getting into the rhythm. When you break your rhythm, you lose your flow of shifting and brake points and just the flow of how the car is running. And so if you spin the car, if you get a little bit sideways or twitched, I know exactly what they mean by breaking your rhythm. So anyways, lost a couple more spots there. Probably overdriving the car at this point in the race, being a little bit too aggressive. That car is way out of control. But we'll take advantage of that on this turn here. He's still with us. Now we've got him. Eighth place so far. Running out of time though. He's got to run up the inside. Don't let it go too far. Oh, Lord have mercy. Took it way too deep. I was too worried about that car making a bonsai move, and as a result, I screwed myself up. We got him back on this turn. Can we hold him off? Yes, he's slotted in behind us. So 8th place. Handling is definitely going away. And there it is. 8th place finish from 25th. So not too bad. So as soon as you cross the finish line, the computer takes over control of your car, and because I had a little bit of a turn on, it spun my car, and then the rest of the field just plowed into me. So anyways, hope you enjoyed that. That was practice race at Brno. 17 laps, 25th to 8th place. I'll take that. Could have been better. Got a little bit too aggressive toward the end, but if you like that, yeah, make some comments below. I always enjoy reading whatever you guys have to say. Any things that you'd like to see differently, or things I could do better, I would appreciate that, and we'll talk to you guys later.